a cloud. Good evening. This is April 12th, 2022. I'm Glenda Carlin, and welcome to our weekly A Course in Miracles meeting. Hello, hello, hello. Looky here. Holy Son of God, Sally. Holy Son of God, Jeff. Holy Son of God, Kurt. Holy Son of God, Nance. Holy Son of God, Edward. Holy Son of God, Susan. Holy Son of God, Corrine. Holy Son of God, Teresa. Holy Son of God, Julia. Welcome, welcome, you all. Welcome to our weekly meeting here. So let's see. We're going to invite in Holy Spirit, Jesus, Buddha, enlightened beings, ascended masters, be with us, guide us what to do or say, and to have fun, and to assimilate these truths from A Course in Miracles, from Dzogchen Buddhism, and whatever comes to mind here, and whatever anyone wants to share. Because this is, wow, under Holy Spirit and Jesus and all enlightened beings' guidance. Thank you, thank you. Helen Schuchman and Bill Thetford for A Course in Miracles. Gee whiz, thank you, thank you. And Gary Renard for his books, and Lama Surya Das for his Dzogchen Buddhist books, and all the other peoples that write parallel books to A Course in Miracles that can assist us. We're to take all the help we can get. Now let's see, first thing we'll meditate for a moment, but I want to share that I live here in Melbourne, Florida, and I have a dear friend, Christine, who is an author, but also she brings into the community different authors and spiritual people. And I think you all received an email from me. There's 3 different events she's having. One's a potluck, April 30th. One is May 5th is a luncheon with a seminar. Well, the 8th potluck, there's a seminar where this author, her name is Samara Grace, who's an author, and she channels Mother Mary. Now, my belief is each person resonates with people that can bring through, like Mother Mary, like Helen Schuchman. Heck, she could hear Jesus. I mean, really, but you're all checking out the authenticity of the person, et cetera, and if they resonate with you. But anyway, I had a reading from Samara Grace where she channeled Mother Mary, and half of the reading, I asked her about this Course in Miracles group and how I could help you all further, and et cetera. And one thing she wants me to start doing is incorporating music, 2 to 3 minutes per each meeting. And I'm going to start that next week, because she said in the back of A Course in Miracles, there's the song of prayer, and that people mistakenly think there's one song. There isn't. She says each person's got their own song, their own music that touches their heart, opens their heart while they're practicing these truths from the Course or Buddhism or whatever you're practicing. And I can relate to that because until I started doing daily meditation with the Dzogchen LA group, that links in my email, where we were chanting, I could not have related to what she was saying, because that chanting, I didn't understand the Tibetan words, but I knew enough to let the sound resonate, wash through me, and it touches your heart. It touches you at the cellular level, and it's really at the light level. But anyway, so next week, it could be drumming, that is your song, could be chanting in Gregorian chants, or it can be Tibetan chants, could be instrumental music. Anyway, if you would this week, kind of sit with that like I do Spotify. Spotify's free, and you can download that on your phone or my TV, and then you can upload songs. You can search for songs, and you can upload them and make a playlist and play these songs that touch your heart. And I just like sail away with the songs, and that's the purpose, is to go to the light, the spirit that we are, and you sail with that, your being with that. It's an out of the body kind of experience. Well, you can relate, songs that touch your heart. Well, anyway, it was that, and other things she shared, which that about people, about what your something you can do to help your brothers. Some people, she says, she quoted the example that they think they need to build a $1 million retreat, but meantime, how do they get the money to do that? She says, think about how you can help the people in your neighborhood, in your community. And then she says, ask yourself the question, when someone does something, what would love do? And I thought that was cool, isn't it? Some people say, well, what would Jesus do? You know, and that's great. But she said, Mother Mary said, what would love do? So anyway, next week I'll talk about that. But so tonight, first thing, we'll meditate 2 or 3 minutes and welcome Holy Son of God, Eli, Holy Son of God, Francis came in, and Holy Son of God, I forget who 316 is. I forget, she'll remind me. Okay. All right. So so we'll meditate here 2 or 3 minutes. So my favorite meditation that I love to do, because it's such a core truth from the Course in Miracles, is that there's a great ray that connects you to eternity. So over your head, just, you can have your eyes open or closed, but imagine a huge sun. And this sun is worth 1 million of our suns. The light is just so brilliant. That light is source, but that light is also created you as out of love. You are love in that light. So there's a ray that comes off that source and comes straight down the middle of your head, straight down your body, middle of your body, we see it go into the ground. So you're grounded and not floating, but just focus your attention, bring your eyes up, focus them up, and look and visualize that ray of light. It's a column of light that really, it's more than just a ray. Ultimately, once it comes down through you, it radiates out every cell. So it goes to infinity. But right now we're just picturing that it comes down the middle of your head and through the middle of your body. And that light is so pristine and so beautiful and loving, you want to rejoin with it because you've never been separate. It's only these thoughts of separation that we have. But before you rejoin, I want you to picture an altar in your mind and put on that altar the things you think you need to be happy. And then see your body and those items disappear into the light. Now focus your attention, your eyes upward again to the light. And it's really invisible, clear light. Ultimately, when you awaken, you look out and there's just clear light everywhere. You have no head or skull. But as we're awakening, you visualize this white light, or it's also a golden yellow light. And that's also true. I see a golden yellow light too, besides clear light. But anyway, and what I like, this came from Holy Spirit for me, but you ask Holy Spirit to help you. How do you sit in or be with that light? And so Holy Spirit had me picture that I had that's weird, a pitcher, P-I-T-C-H-E-R, of yellow cake batter, and I was pouring it down a column down the middle of my head, and that light, the yellow cake batter, just poured down the middle of my head and came poured down the middle of me, and then just flowed all out every cell. Because see, in my awakening process, I needed a thickness to the light so I could sit in it or rest in it. Because clear light, I couldn't just go sit in clear light or rest in it. So anyway, picture whatever color light you want, but give it a thickness, and picture even that it surrounds you, like you're sitting in the chair, and that yellow cake batter, that is just all around you. In essence, it's come from the middle of you and extends all the way out, but it surrounds you, the form now. It's everywhere. There's only this light. Now, as you're meditating on the light, the mind will wander, because that's what Jesus says. That's what the heck it does. It wanders. And he says, we're too used to idle wandering. We let the mind just wander. Well, for years, I tried to push thoughts away. They'll never stop thinking. The mind will never stop thinking. And I've learned through Dzogchen Buddhism and this Lama Surya to let things come and go. So let your thoughts just pass like clouds in the sky. Don't grab onto them like super glue. Put your hand up there and just grab onto a thought. And how you know you've done that is you're thinking about a story. You're thinking about something that happened today or what's going to happen tomorrow, or you got to go to the dentist or whatever the deal is. Then you just gently bring your attention back to that column of light and visualize that light that's there. And think about resting in the light, being in the light. It's a process. It's a slow reality that you end up being in that light, resting in that light, which is what you are. Oh, and Deb, who leads the Dzogchen LA group, says, if you let a thought, don't grab onto a thought for about 90 seconds, it will just leave. It'll go on its own, but we can't wait that long. So as we're waking up, we get longer and longer seconds where we're not grabbing onto a thought. We're just letting it go. It's called attachment or aversion to something. And as you practice this in meditation, each day, if you could really meditate with some group, that was what was life-changing for me, because you're becoming master over your mind. And the body is an image in the mind, but we think we're a body. So we're experiencing we're a body, so we never put it in harm's way. But the body is restless. It represents that chatter and all those chattering thoughts, wandering mind. It wants to wander around, get up and walk around, do stuff. Well, that's what's important about sitting it on a cushion or in a chair to meditate each day, because you're becoming master of your mind and ultimately master of the form, where you are like Jesus says in the Course, who's master of your kingdom? Well, because we got a 50-50 chance. We're thinking with ego, or thinking with Holy Spirit. So no big deal. We just choose again. So if the thought's we don't attach to the thought, and we don't push thoughts away. We just let them come and go like birds in the sky, clouds in the sky. Only then when you open your eyes, you'll more easily let things come and go during the day, where you're not attached or pushing things and people away during the day. So I'll be quiet here for a minute or half a minute, and then we'll just rejoin with that light. Sit in it, lay in it, whatever you want to call it. Stand in it, whatever, however you can pull it off. Whatever you can picture. Oh, I know another thing that Lama Surya Das did. I was in a 1-day or a 2-hour retreat or something with a group. And he said, picture you're a salt doll. Now picture SALT, doll, in the ocean. Like this light's like an ocean. It completely surrounds you. It goes through you, all in all. But picture you're a salt doll. And what would a doll made of salt do if you put it in the ocean? It would dissolve. You see, that's what you do. You dissolve, you merge, you rest, surrender, relax, all kinds of verbs into that light. If you can pull it off for just a holy instant, that's great. 2 or 3 seconds, that's great. And then your mind wanders, then you just bring your mind back. It's called the Leash of Mindfulness. You're becoming aware of what the hell your mind's doing. And you are the source. You are the power. You're the Christ, the Buddha. You can take charge of your mind, bring that mind back to the light. And that's, you're building a rut, a new highway in your mind. And as that rut gets deeper and deeper, you become a habit. You can automatically bring this mind back to the light. And it's not telling you what to do. You're telling it, I'm going to the light. I'm resting in the light. So when you want, bring your attention back to this place, but you can always, at any instant, think about this light and then consider finding some group to meditate with every day. It's a big deal. Thank you. Thank you. Glad you all are back. I love meditation. Wow. Oh, you guys, I am a changed person. Every week I come here, I go, well, you won't believe what happened this week. Just like you guys, you know, when you're aware and alert, the Holy Spirit can really work through you. Well, the thing is, you know, I can talk about there's a script and there's a plan that we agreed to, but I had an experience where it just jarred me to my core, to my Christ self. It brought me back to my Buddha self. Now, I was reading in these lessons that I wrote that when I searched for the words plan and script, I then read what comes up from, you know, the online A Course in Miracles, you know, text and workbook, etc. And it was lesson 135 and 158. In there, it talks about, see, I share what experiences I'm having, but of course, each person has their own experiences. I'm just sharing them so that you are motivated to continue your practice. But Jesus says in those lessons, I forget which one, 135 or 158, that experiences can't be shared, but vision can, because vision is the part about the Christ vision is when we practice advanced forgiveness, we look past the form to the immortal spirit that's here, the clear light that's here, which could also be called space, looks like space or air. It's clearness. It looks empty, but it's the complete living God, the complete living Tao that's here running through everything. And the Christ mind, Buddha mind, misthought that instead of just enjoying the images, it went and became an image, fell asleep and we believe we're a body in this dream, which we're not. We're not a body. But anyway, prior to that happening, all the Christ or Buddha mind was doing was making a Garden of Eden, making these images that flowed freely with all the living Tao and God force in them. There was no attachment, no aversion. Everything was flowing freely. And that is how it still is when you awake to it. There's a Garden of Eden here, now, nirvana, heaven, here. That's what the Course in Miracles is for, is to help you wake up from this dream. But anyway, Jesus says there's a script, there's a plan, and that we've agreed to from time, when time began. So where's that? Well, I tell you, let's see what he says here. Where's the one about no time? Well, I'll just read this one. The workbook lesson 158. The script is written, is what this is about. The time is set already. It appears to be quite arbitrary, yet there's no step along the road that anyone takes but by chance. It has already been taken by him, although he has not yet embarked on it. Now that's a conundrum, isn't it? See, all this we've already done, but we think in our mind we haven't done it. We haven't embarked on it yet, but we're looking back on it. For time but seems to go in one direction. Time seems to go in one direction from past, now to future. But Jesus says I'm now realizing, of course, he says, we're looking at time from when it ended back on what has already gone. We but undertake a journey that's over, yet it seems to have a future still unknown to us. Time is a trick, a sleight of hand, a vast illusion in which figures come and go as if by magic. Yet there is a plan behind appearances that does not change. The script is written. When experience will come to end your doubting has been set, for we but see the journey from the point at which it ended. Looking back on it, we're looking back on it, imagining we make it once again, reviewing mentally what has gone by. And like Gary Bernard says in one of his books, Art and Person say, what's a better description of we're mentally reviewing what's gone by, but a movie. So when you go to the movie in the big theater, the projector's behind your head that's beaming light, but in the light, there's these images, these little images that get projected on the screen in front of your face in the movie theater. Well, that's what the Christ mind is. Your mind is a projector, it's a light, the light, but in it is your plan that's projecting these images that's out in front of you. It's wild, but it's true. Now, I had to sit with this because of this experience I had in the Orlando airport. So I went on a trip March 31st and returned April 3rd, a Sunday, to go from Orlando, Florida to Springfield, Missouri to visit a sister and a niece. And there's many miraculous things that went on during that. Well, I should name one of them. My sister has dementia and is in a nursing home. And one day I visited her and could FaceTime two other sisters, and she knew who I was and who my sisters were, and we shared memories, etc. The next time I was there, she didn't remember who I was, but I know enough. So I sat there and I beamed light from my third eye into her third eye and saw her as spirit. That was the purpose of the trip. Everything the purpose is boils down to, do I see the people as spirit, and how the hell am I helping them? Am I being a hindrance or am I helping them? So I just would sit there and beam the light and be in the light with her. Okay, but anyway, other things happen. But the point is, so then I'm returning home Sunday. I'm flying from Springfield, Missouri, and the connecting flights in Atlanta, then to Orlando. But I'm sitting in the airport in Atlanta at the gate. And, I've learned enough by now. I'm watching what's going on and thinking of people as spirit. But yet, you still keep getting it deeper and deeper and deeper. And I'm sitting there in that gate area, and they announce that the flight's going to be delayed. And instantly, I know it's for my highest good that flight not take off when it was going to take off. Because if it did, I would be out driving down here in Orlando, Florida at a certain time, and I wasn't meant to be doing that. That's what came to me. I don't know what my other things were for my highest good, but it's also now I realize the delay of that flight was for the highest good of all the people on the flight. And I now see it like a reset. You know how you reset your computer when it's jammed up and not working and needs to restart it? I see these delays that I used to think of years ago as a detriment, or what the hell, I got to rearrange things or whatever. Then that's called aversion. I don't like it. I wouldn't want it to be different. So I'm there in my mind doing all that stuff, ego just doing all that stuff. But now, no. I see it as a reset. That's way for Holy Spirit to get everybody back into some alignment. It's doing for the highest good of everybody. So I'm sitting, they also say the flight's going to be downsized to a smaller aircraft, so not everybody could get on. So I'm going, well, I get on or I don't get on. Now that's a big ass deal, pardon my language, because immediately ego wants to say, well, what the hey, I want to get on. I mean, really, I want to get on. No, no, no. Again, the thing is, I don't know what my high school is. I just wait and see it. But I could feel in the gate area, people were getting a little upset in their own deal, and so I go to my mind and I start praying to the light. Now that's our job. So when I went to the light and I just rested in the light and saw it radiating out of me throughout, not just the airport. I let it go all over Georgia, out of the United States, throughout all the universe. I mean, we are a magnitude. We are not littleness. Our spirit is larger than all the universes. Our heart, our love is larger than all universes. Universes are a speck in our heart. That's how I see it. I got that from this Buddhist group. Someone said that. I thought, that's right. I had to sit with that. Sit with that deal. The universes are a speck in your heart. Your heart goes larger than all universes because it's one with God, one with the living Tao, one with everything, the living force that's all encompassing, omniscient. But anyway, there's other things that happen, but I need to get on with this, is that I got on the airplane and it was delayed an hour and a half. And so then I fly into Orlando, and all these airports are big. So I gotta go through the thing. There's a train to take you to the terminal. And then I'm taking escalators down. I take an elevator down. And I get to the ground transportation area where I'm going to find the van that's going to take me to my car. And I'm walking there, and up shows this Black woman who says something like, would I help her? She can't find her Canaveral cruise bus. This bus is going to take her to the port for her and her sister to go on a cruise that very day. I went, what? Say, bless your heart, what's happening? Say that. And she tells me again, and I go, I'll help you. Long story short, we go to the counter where Canaveral Cruise was, no staff person there, no phone number. So I Google it, the phone number, and I call it. Nobody answers. There's no, how sometimes they'll say, long wait, punch 1 if you want to go in queue and we'll call you back. Or there's voice, none of that, folks. So there's 2 Black women that flew in there from Birmingham, Alabama to go on a cruise at the port. Port Canaveral's maybe 40 minutes from where I live. Orlando's like an hour from the port. So they had bought a package where they got their airfare, ground transportation from the airport to the port, then the cruise, right? So meantime, as I walk around with this woman, you're getting a feel for a person. And I realized she loved God and Jesus because we'd call on. I'd say, let's have Holy Spirit help us. She'd go, oh yeah, or Jesus, Jesus will help us. So she and I are talking that way as we walk around. Now, what I've looked at this is there's the plan, the script that we've agreed to, but there's millions of dimensions of time and space within it. I could have told that woman, no, I'm not sorry. I got to go get on my van. You got to go help. Somebody else will help her, right? That was a choice. Now that's one dimension of time and space. And I would have been off looking for my van to go get my car and go home. But now see, this wasn't a conscious choice I made. Well, I guess an unconscious choice. The woman needed help. And so I was just helping her. There was I never really thought to not help her. But anyway. But so then we get back, her sister is sitting on a bench. And then they both sit down there, and I'm standing there and I'm calling that number, but there's no answer. And I ask them to see their reservation documents so I can see what's going on. Sure enough, on it, it says the loading time for the ship was, 1:30 to 2. And the ship leaves the dock at 3 o'clock. And I'm looking at my watch because I'm thinking maybe I can drive them there, but there's only 30 minutes. There's no way it's an hour. I can't get them and they already missed the loading time anyway. I can't get them there. So I'm looking at this document, and I'm not kidding you. It comes to me because they're not going on this cruise. I say to them, now, do either one of you have heart trouble or high blood pressure? I'm not kidding. I ask them that because, damn, this is a badass deal. They're not going on this cruise. Now, how are they going to take this? And they go, no. So I turn the document and I read I said, see this, it says your loading time's this, and the ship leaves at this time. We're past that time. See, this print says if you miss the loading time, you're not going on the cruise. And they're sitting there. And oh, I'm not kidding. I do say, I do really believe you're not supposed to have been on that cruise, that something bad was going to happen. That's why Jesus and Holy Spirit didn't have you on that. And these women agreed. These women knew enough that something was amiss if they had missed that trip. But still, it was not quite all sinking in. See, this is like, duh. So it dawned on me, they're not going on that cruise. They're stranded. What the hey? They're at this airport. What are they going to do? So it comes to me to ask them, well, I live in Melbourne. You could come stay with me. And then tomorrow I can call this cruise and see if we can get you on another cruise or get you on a flight home. Just think about that. I don't know what you want to do. And this lady was pretty smart. She says, what's the cost for this? Isn't that smart? Because I had forgot to say no cost. Oh, these were sweet two Black women. And we talked about this later. I said, now you can't beat this story, right? And we've all agreed this was a testimony story. This was a witness story they were going to share when they went back to church, because two Black women being helped by a white woman. Now, when there's a racist society, that's a story in itself, right? But the bottom line, we all believed in God and Jesus, and it brought us together for a reason. And I truly believed that right then. I could not leave them stranded. So they said yes. So then I went and found my van, got their luggage, got in the van, piled them in my car, and brought them home. That was Sunday afternoon. Then I'm not kidding you, bless their hearts. I used to be in business, so I kind of still know how to do a few things. I was on hold 4 hours with customer service with Canaveral Cruise Line before I got to the resolution department to get them. They couldn't get them on a cruise, so we rearranged and got their airline tickets changed to Wednesday. So they were at my house from Sunday afternoon until Wednesday morning. I drove them back to the airport. But while they were here, different times, this one Black woman in particular, she and I would just sit there and go, oh, we were changed. I was changed by this situation. I will never be the same. So it made me think about the plan, you guys, the script, and the magnitude of it. And that's the part about what Jesus says. Not one step. Every step has been planned. I'm not kidding. There's not one step. And contacts. Let's see, there's okay. Oh, no. Where's page 1? Oh, page 1. I love this. When I found this. Yet there's no step along the road that anyone takes but by chance. Wow. Now, so that's why I forget the chapter where Jesus says, rules for decision, a choice. So if we don't like so what's the plan? People ask, well, what's the plan? The plan is whatever's showing up in front of your face. You agreed to. We each agreed to. Now, if you don't like what's showing up in front of your face, then you practice Jesus's advanced forgiveness. Turn your day over to Holy Spirit, ask him to guide you what to do and say. Meditate daily. Practice parallel truths and other things that can help you get the truths deeper. Then what happens? These dimensions of more happy and joyous and loving dimensions of time and space show up that we've agreed to as well. So it's not cut and dried that there's just one. So picture like if you decide you're going to go to the grocery store, and you're going to get in your car, but all of a sudden you decide, oh, I forgot if I turn my iron off, and you go back in the house. Well, you left at a different time. You are in a different time, dimension of time and space. And Jesus, I found in this, says that we can alter time. Now, because see, we're a Christ, we're a Buddha. We are one with the living God. By practicing the course and me doing the Dzogchen truths, there's the altering of time. I found that's in workbook lesson 157. Yet you have come far enough along the way to alter time sufficiently to rise above its laws and walk into eternity a while. Now that happens when you meditate for a second or two. This you will learn to do increasingly as every lesson faithfully rehearsed brings you more swiftly to this holy place and leaves you for a moment to yourself, your Christ self, your Buddha self. But you are altering time. Wow, this is so huge, you guys. I'm telling you, this has blown me away. Nothing is by chance. And so no contact. Now that is Manual for Teachers 3:1-2. It says, the ultimate goal of everything is to make a relationship a holy relationship, meaning you think of them as a holy son of God, your loved ones, your husband, your wife, your partners, your lovers, your friends, your neighbors. That is everything, the politicians, everything. Just by saying you are spirit, whole, pure, and innocent, always forgiven and released. You are thinking of them as spirit, and that's going in your unconscious mind and helping not just you, them, but you. But it says here, there is no one from whom a teacher of God cannot learn. So there is no one whom he cannot teach. Moreover, however, from a practical point of view, he cannot meet everyone, nor can everyone find him. Therefore, the plan includes very specific contacts to be made for each teacher of God. Now, see, you all are teachers of God. There are no accidents in salvation. Those who are to meet will meet because together they have the potential for a holy relationship. They are ready for each other. Now, think about that. Dang, that's another one. You're in the grocery store line. There's no accident. Those people are standing there. If you come to your mind and go, I'm going to practice on that cashier, you are spirit, oh, pure and innocent, always forget and release. Or you're just kind to somebody near you, smile at them, or whatever, a loving kindness, or there's no accident. Whoever's in line with you, no accident. You're driving on the street at a stoplight, you look at it, no accident. Oh, wow. This is wow. To think there's 8 billion people. Holy Spirit can do anything. Every second is planned. But the ultimate thing is the purpose of everything is to remember that you're spirit and these people are spirit. That's the ultimate realization. The purpose of all of this. Oh my goodness. But so then I started just sitting with the plan, the script. And so then the picture. So let's say you've got a relationship that you want something changed. That's not exactly like you want it. Now, That could be called aversion or attachment or not. Now, depending on if we become an outraged Christ or Buddha, or we're a peaceful Christ or a peaceful Buddha, you can sit with Holy Spirit, Mother Mary, whoever you want, Jesus, whatever you want, a Buddha. Ask them, help me how to see this relationship, how I can help it unfold in a more loving and joyous way, right? You're really asking for, that's going to be you're going to fall into another dimension of time and space that you already agreed to, but you didn't know you agreed to it. But all you knew is you have a relationship that's not loving. Remember how Helen Schuchman and Bill Thetford were psychology professors at Columbia University, and Bill Thetford hired Helen, and they argued like cats and dogs, and they were psychology professors and couldn't figure out how to get along. So one day, Bill Thetford says, there's got to be a better way. And Helen agreed with him. So see, no more. I don't want this anymore. I don't want this disagreements and arguments. There has to be a better way. So see, each of us are doing that in our lives. But the bottom line is, none of this is by chance. So in essence, we're like actors. We're actors in a movie. We're saying lines that have already been written. But you're falling into lines. You're awakening to lines of love. You're becoming the love that you are, awakened to this Christ spirit, Buddha spirit. Because see what's happened, that spirit that you are is clear, pristine, pure, innocent, loving. But what we do, we are a projector, like a movie projector, projecting little images out on this clear light. And the images lay around on this clear light. The light's still flowing through them like a hologram, right? But we believe they're real bodies, they're real images. And that's what you're waking up from, is that these are images we have projected and made up. And as we awaken, then we see the purity and the living God everywhere. It's in the love that you are. I mean, it just brings me to tears when I chant with those Buddhist groups and we're praying for each other, praying for all of humanity to awake from the nightmare of suffering and confusion. Wow. What you all are doing by awakening yourself, you in essence help your brothers wake up, because that light radiates out of your mind and your heart. It's magnificent what you're doing here. Oh man. Okay, so let's see. I want to read some beautiful things that I found when I was doing this. Oh, this is in workbook 135. What could you not accept if you but knew that everything that happens, all events, past, present, and to come, are gently planned by one whose only purpose is your good? Everything that happens, all events, past, present, and to come, are gently planned. I mean, even that means the war in Ukraine, the pandemic, all of this stuff. We never, ever put the body in harm's way. But yet, as you pray and practice, you go to a different dimension of time and space when you're praying to want to help, or you may be guided to give money for supplies for whomever, or help to a refugee, or like, you don't know, you're showing up at the grocery store line and somebody needs help. I don't know. I showed up at the airport and somebody needed help. Now, at the same time, I want to say this. When I returned those women to the airport, you're in the departing lanes, you arrive at the curve and you're going to drop people off. There's two lines right there. And there's a man in a van parked on the interior line next to the curb. And then there's cars in front of me, and there's cars in front of him. But then cars start to shift, this man wants out. That's to my right. but he's kind of pushing his way through wanting out. That's my understand what feel I got. And there was a car in front of me. I wasn't going anywhere, but he wanted to back up a little bit for me to try to get out and over in front of him. Yeah, that was not an easy deal. And I wasn't going to ding my car or hurt him. I just put my hands up like this, like, no, I'm not doing that. Now, see, I wasn't going to do that. It's not like that we're yes people, doormats, psychologically or physically, or we're saying yes to everything. That's not my message here. There, you will feel, and when you're to say yes to help somebody. And that, what I did with that man, he needed, when I think about it now, he got delayed, right? Well, that's what he needed to be, delayed. That could have been for his highest good. He's not out driving on the highway. I don't know what the purpose was, but yet I wasn't going to let him out. I'm here. He can wait, blah, blah. So there's different dimensions of time and space. We're not saying yes to everything, although maybe you want to say yes to everything. I don't know. I'm being guided by what to do or say by how I feel. Okay, that's that's where I'm at, because we make decisions, right, that put us in different dimensions of time and space. Wow, that's already been written. That's what's wild about the whole deal. All of it's already been written. Oh, now, when I researched this, in lesson 135, Jesus says Easter time, because I guess Easter time is coming up here. And that's paragraph 26, maybe. It says here, try not to shape this day as you believe would benefit you most. For you cannot conceive of all the happiness that comes to you without your planning. Learn today, and all the world will take this giant stride and celebrate your Easter time with you. I guess that's your resurrection, your awakening to your Christ self. You see, Easter time's every day of the week. I mean, it's every moment, every instant. Oh, and you know, I ran back on a paragraph that says the holy instant. That's in chapter 15. The holy instant is this instant, and every instant. The one you want it to be, it is. The one you would not have it be is lost to you. So each moment of the day, we only got the moment. We only got this breath, this moment, this instant. And that used to always, I didn't understand it really, but just take a breath and realize that breath is an instant. And in that instant, you can pause and you can remember to go to the light for just a second. That's all it takes, a second to remember your light and love. Then you go back doing your dishes or whatever you're doing. But more and more, you want to be alert to the now, to this instant, and what choices I'm making. Now, doesn't mean you can't plan, but when we plan, you're open to the flow of things. That's the other thing that's happening with me. And I want to read this sentence here. Where's this? Page 2. That's what I want. Page 2. This is from Lama Surya Das's book, Buddha Standard Time. And I realized that book could be called Christ Standard Time, because in it are all these lessons. And then the next few weeks, I'm going to still keep sharing things from that book that parallel the course. This is how I'm trying to live. The secret of letting go is to let things come and go and let them be, not suppressing them or being carried away by them, but doing the best you can and then letting go. So you can plan a trip, you can plan anything. Just do the best you can and let it go. You're not tied to the outcome. That's the thing I'm trying to realize is I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what all these dimensions of time and space that are for my highest good that could result. Just do the best you can with your planning, but let it go. Whatever happens according to the 5 perfections is the right outcome for you. See, now this Dzogchen Buddhist group called the 5 perfections means this is the perfect time. This is the perfect place. This is the perfect teaching. Whatever's showing up in front of your face is the perfect teaching. There's the perfect teacher, which is Holy Spirit, Jesus, Buddha. There's ultimately your perfect Holy Spirit. And the perfect student. You are the perfect student. You are the perfect Christ, Buddha self-awakening. That's what they call is the right outcome for you. And then goes on to say, can we tolerate not knowing and being unable to control things? Because see, that's the point. So you can plan, do the best you can. And then also things show up. Didn't work. I didn't get on that cruise. So then you adapt, you adjust. Now, what do? I call the cruise company without being an outraged Christ, screaming and yelling on the phone with them. Where's your bus? There was nobody here to help me. All that stuff in an outraged fashion. Yet you're factual, which is, stating the facts. Here's what happened. They couldn't find them. There was no staff person, no phone number, no bus. Oh, dang. Can we tolerate not knowing? So they planned a trip, but it didn't turn out how they planned. They're not in control of things. Or do we mistakenly think we're in charge? Who can live on the cusp of unknowing and wonderment while in the ongoing process of simply finding out? Now, see, that's the spot I'm in. I'm going to reread this. That's where I'm trying to live now. You plan the best you can, do the best you can. Can we tolerate not knowing and being unable to control things? Or do we mistakenly think we're in charge? And here's how I want to live. Who can live on the cusp of unknowing and wonderment, like what's going to happen next? I don't know. What's going to happen? Wonderment, not knowing, while in the ongoing process of simply finding out. So in front of you, something unfolds. You found out. Well, here's what happened. Then you're asking Holy Spirit to help me, guide me what to do or say. And you're meditating maybe on it. But see, you're living not in charge. You're not in charge. Holy Spirit's in charge. Your Christ self, your Buddha self, that's in charge. God, the living Tao. They know what's for our highest good. And then here today, I read something else that Lama Surya posted. Here's what he posted on Facebook. Because see, I'm thinking about all this, in my own self, what is the plan? What is the script that I've agreed to? How am I living my moment-to-moment life, my daily life? Honest, that I am sitting with these things that I'm sharing with you, because really, what's the purpose of your life? The purpose we've all talked about before is whatever shows up in your face, that's what you plan, you agreed to. But also, the purpose is to practice Jesus's advanced forgiveness on everything that shows up. But anyway, but he says here, whatever occurs, whatever it may be, that itself is the key. So see, whatever shows up in front of your face, that's the deal. That's the plan. That's your script. That's what I agreed to. That's the key. And then he goes on, and without stopping it, like pushing it away, stopping it, or nourishing it, feeding the problem, right? Like aversion, attachment. In an even flow, just rest. Just rest. Go back, focus on that light that's in your mind, that's right here, that column of light. Just rest in it. Surrender and rest. And then when you're doing this, Holy Spirit's going to talk to you. You're going to get a thought. You don't even know it's Holy Spirit talking to you about, oh yeah, I could just be calmer about this. I could go sit down over here. Go wash some dishes or go outside and stand around and look at the sky for a minute and calm myself down. Take some deep breaths. Deep breath in, exhale, saying, ah. You know, we are doing things to calm ourselves, bring ourselves back to the alignment, the centering of this onto this column of light that's coming down the middle of it. That breath that you're taking, that's in and out in a slow breath, you can get into the rhythm of the great ray light that's coming in and going out of your mind, because that's what's causing your breath and your heartbeat. The great ray light is what's keeping you alive. And your heartbeat and your breath mimics it. You can get back in the flow with it. And then as you're resting and breathing this way, relax, breathe, relax, and smile. Just smile will bring a whole new feeling of joy to you. Put on a fake smile, and before you know it, you're happier. Asking Holy Spirit what to do. Anyway, then he says you'll end up being in contemplation, in naked, pristine purity of the spirit that you are. That's the ultimate realization that happens to you, that you are the love and light of the pure Tao right now. Oh, I'm changed forever, you guys. Anybody want to have a comment? Or it's 7:59. Wow. Here comes Teresa back in. Look at your smiling faces. Oh my. Okay. Well, if there's nothing else, so now let's take a moment. Thank you, Holy Spirit, Jesus, Buddha, for helping us tonight. Light and beings, ascended masters. Take a moment here and pick 3 people on the screen to practice advanced forgiveness on them, which means it just wrote, faking it while you make it. I did it for years. Didn't believe it. Didn't believe people were spirit. Didn't believe they were love. I didn't believe I was spirit or love. Once in a while, I might believe it, but not very often. But I'm here to tell you, this works. It builds on itself. Pick 3 people and say, you are spirit, whole, pure, and innocent, all is forgiven and released. Or say 3 simple words to them, all of it. Now to yourself say, I am immortal spirit. This body is a false image and has nothing to do with what I am. Or you say all of it to yourself. Okay. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you. So next week, so here's your homework. Play with the song of prayer in the back of the Course in Miracles. Mother Mary told me, there's more than one song. You want the song that touches your heart and causes you just to kind of, soften, relax. And also it's called, like sail away, like on the wings of a bird. I mean, you know that feeling. It could be chanting, Gregorian chants, it can be piano music, or orchestra music, opera, who the heck knows, drumming. Play with it to find this Dzogchen Tibetan chanting works for me, but also remember about Spotify. It's free. You can download it, and then you can search for these songs, and you don't have to buy CDs or anything. And play with the song that works for you. And next week, I'm going to pick a song and play it 2 or 3 minutes as we say a truth from the Course. And I'm going to reread my notes about what Mother Mary said, how to help us in our group here, and picture in your neighborhood or anything happens, to ask yourself the question, what would love do? That's pretty. What would love do? Man, is that cool or what? Okay, I'm going to stop the recording. Thanks everybody for being here, and see you next Tuesday.